What's up, everybody? How we doing tonight? Welcome to episode 6, season 2 of the Para-Prob podcast. For those of you who don't know who I am, welcome to the channel. My name is Matt, and I am the paranormal consultant. With me tonight is a really good friend of mine, and I consider him a brother. Uh, my brother here, Greg. And Greg, you've been in the field 8 years now?
Yeah, right around there. Eight,
For
nine,
8 years?
something like that.
Awesome. Awesome. And Greg has his own shows. So do you want to, oh, there we go. I knew there's something missing. You want to give him a shout out? Give your shows a shout out here real quick.
For my shows,
Yeah.
I have a show on Wednesday night. It's called Metaphysical Crossing. It's all ITC experimentation. We have different teams that come on. I have them where they rotate,
Mm-hmm.
and we do all spirit box communication. Basically, we've been working a lot on the Estes method
Oh,
because what's happening is we have locations up in Minnesota, we have locations in Missouri, Rhode Island. A lot of people know who the people are.
yeah.
You got Chris Carr and Kristen Johnson
Yeah.
up in
No.
Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Down in Missouri, you have Katie Stafford
Okay.
from Supernatural Inc. That's another one of my families. Both of those people are like families too, like you. And then the other one is Greg Bakken up in Minnesota.
Okay.
Now, what we do with Greg is he's by himself, so I usually use another member from the Shadowhunters group,
Mm-hmm.
and we use them as a moderator. So what we do is the idea behind it that really makes a lot of to me makes a lot of sense. It may not to anybody else, but the magnification from the distances
Mm-hmm.
amplifies the amount of responses we get and the answers to the questions. So as long as the intention is good in the room,
Mm-hmm.
when we start the session out, we tell everybody that they have to be of the right intention, and they have to be positive in their thoughts,
Of
and
course.
they have to go ahead and have and be respectful, and because the spirit isn't going to come through if you're going to be a jerk about it.
Yeah, and I know there's certain people that should learn that lesson, and one of them in particular is on TV, and we're not going to go down that road because I think if anybody's seen my show, you know who exactly I'm talking about. And if you don't, take your shirt off and call everything a demon, you'll figure it out. But anyway,
It's to me it doesn't really mean a lot to me because of what is done on his end of the fence,
yeah,
or anybody else's for that matter. I'm just more worried about the product and the responses that we come up with, and how sincere we are about our approach.
of course.
And,
Yeah,
and that's what really makes the difference on metaphysical, I think. And
I,
it's
I
and it's
agree.
still growing. We'll probably pick up another two teams and really go ahead and make it so you don't have to be on there every 3 weeks,
Hmm.
which makes it a little more at ease with everybody. They don't get a little cranky and that kind of thing. I got to be there every, Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, and that's 8 Central, right?
yes, that's
Yeah,
eight
so
central.
nine Eastern for everybody at home playing the home game.
And then I have Thursday night. I have a show with Reggie Randall
Hmm.
that's called Perfectly Normal Paranormal Communication,
That's a good one.
and we started out with a lot of the film, and once the weather clears a little more, we're going to be doing a lot more filming
Hmm.
out at locations. And Reggie's a master when it comes to not only catching things,
Hmm.
but the spirits actually really like Reggie for some reason. I mean, if you were with me the first time I was ever with him,
Yeah.
he was almost like a ballet dancer.
Oh, jeez.
I'm telling you, we went into a cemetery he's never been in before. He has everything set up so he has nothing really in his hands except the spirit box, his recorder, and all that's tucked away. And he started at the first row of tombstones and just went ahead and called them out by name, went ahead and, would say things to them and continue on, knowing he felt he was picking up responses. Now, the first tombstone he ever ran into, and I'll just bring this up and then I'll go on to the other show.
Yeah.
But the first tombstone that he shows up to, I'm behind him and we're walking along, and he goes, "Mr. Riordan, how are you today?" And I says, "It's not Riordan, it's Reardon." And what was picked up on the EVP was Riordan.
I love when that happens.
I hate, I just have to tell you that because it was like, I was just like, when I first saw that, when we did the first show, it was like, holy, I can't, this is unbelievable. And it kept on going like that, and he has a fleet of not only spirit guides, he has angels. He's considers himself to be a star seed. And, there's no denying it on my, that whatever floats your boat, and as far as his heart is concerned, he's in it 100%.
Well, I mean,
there's no,
who are we really to sit here and
yes, exactly.
say who's right or wrong? I mean, it's a belief.
Exactly.
It's a belief system.
Right. And that's where it really came into play, where it really opened my eyes a lot more, because, I was already on the fringe as far as what I was doing with my work, because, if we went on an investigation with another group that I was in, and, I wanted to go do an Estes. And I had a friend of mine in the group that him and I would go do a double Estes, and we would film it and everything, and I considered ourselves to be pretty good at it.
Yeah.
But we had a situation that came up where about 3 sessions in a row, and I think I had mentioned it to you before about the ticking.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing our work, and it's being filmed, and we had 2 other people from the group, Barbara Meager and Kathy Para.
Okay.
And so they're watching us, and this is like the third one, and we were picking up this ticking above the white noise. So you'd hear this, at first I thought it was Morse code, and it wasn't. And then it kept on going, and it was like, wow, this is really bizarre. And it went on, and it when we ended the session, it ended. And it went on to the second session. And the next time, here we are at Farrar School out in Iowa, and we're having a bonus night that's just going crazy. And we happen to be down in the boiler room, and we set it up the same way, and we're doing the session. And lo and behold, we weren't even in it 4 minutes, and the ticking started. Like it was following us around. And I went through the whole session. Halfway through the session, my partner jumps out of it. He's had enough. He doesn't know what it is. He doesn't want to find out what it is. That kind of thing.
Yep.
Beat me up. Who the hell knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
So that's where that went. And I've been doing it like that and continuing to do it. And I asked a question in front of a round table group of people that are well known in the ITC field
Mm-hmm.
for their expertise.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all together, and I asked a question into the round table, and I told them what had happened, and I says, "What do you guys think this was?" And two of them from both sides of the table looked back at each other, and one of them started to smile, and he says, "Isn't this what Frank's all about, or was all about?" Meaning Frank Sumption,
Mm-hmm.
the father, and the Purple Princess, and everything else that you want to throw out there about Frank, because Frank was in his own world.
Yeah.
And, he enjoyed it immensely. He enjoyed his communications, but everybody was going. And when it hit me that night was I sort of, and I've been working on my mediumship, my psychic end of the mediumship and my mediumship,
Mm-hmm.
and working pretty hard at it with my mentor Scotty Rourke. And I was going on a straight path, if you can imagine this. And that night, after that communication, because for some reason something was driving me in this direction. Who in heaven's name wants to do a ton of Estes sessions, you know, at 20 minutes apiece or 25 minutes apiece, and
Yeah.
still be able to talk without having to have a bib on and having to be drooling. So there we were, and I says, "That's it. This is why this is happening for me. It's for me to be given an opportunity to hear my guides and to pick up communication, not only with my guides, but with anybody else that would be not only, that's where you start talking about spirit, ghost, alien, apparat, whatever you want to throw in. Are they all one and the same? And
Possible.
that was the big question that came up, and I started to pursue it that way. I said, I would love to be able to talk to my guides.
Yeah.
And I've been working on it, and you're probably thinking, man, you got a screw loose, buddy. But
No,
we
you've
all
seen my
have a
show.
screw.
You've seen
We
my
we
show.
all we all we all have a screw loose
Oh, I don't even
in
have my
that
screw anymore. I
respect.
lost it. I
But
lost my screw a while back. I don't even
but
have it anymore.
I love the opportunity to be in the position where I can have an opportunity to communicate,
Mm-hmm.
and not necessarily on this platform as much as the platform that's created, with spirit box communication.
Well, I mean that's why we do what we do. I mean that's why we go out and investigate. It's to communicate. I mean it's
Right.
not we're not just going out just to go, oh, there it is, hi, and walk away. No, it's come here, let's have a conversation. Well, before we continue on, brother, let's say hello to our awesome audience. I see there's a lot of people in here tonight. Thank you all for joining us. Parasolo, what is up, brother? How are you tonight? And Greg, you'll love this. So Parasolo is actually not too far from me here in Pennsylvania. He's in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. He's kind of in between me and Mr. Fedora up in Warren. Christina Bell, hello. How are you? Great seeing you here again. Facebook user, always a pleasure. I always love seeing Facebook user. There's a name you should know.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Anthony from the Texas Wraith Hunters and Wraith World podcast.
Anthony's a cool guy.
I love Anthony. He's one of my brothers. And here's another one of my brothers. This
Tinfoil hats. No, it's
this
right up
is
my line.
this is actually Aaron Hoffman. This is his new podcast. He's just starting. You might remember Aaron from A View Beyond Magazine and Spectre Radio.
Okay.
This is him. And Ron Knowles. What's up, Ron, from RRLC Paranormal? Vicky, hello from Abyss.
Hey, Vicky.
Joshua, what is up? Haven't seen you in a hot minute. How you been? Unearthly, how are you doing tonight? Welcome. Andrea, welcome back. Glad to see you. David Hope from Dark Hope Paranormal. What is up, brother?
Oh, wow.
How are you? We got a lot of people here. James, what's up from Hammertown
They
Paranormal?
must be wanting to go ahead and watch you for a while. It's not
I don't
about
know.
me. That's for
I
sure.
don't know why. I've heard my own voice. It sucks. What's up, Beth? How are you doing? Reggie has a gift. Absolutely. Absolutely, he does. I've seen his show. I've seen what he can do. Vicky is asking you, brother, where in Missouri is your group family?
Where's whose?
I think you said something earlier about you have family in Missouri or a
No.
group in Missouri. You have people you work with in Missouri.
That's Katie Stafford.
Katie Stafford.
That's
Okay.
KD and Katie Stafford. Supernatural Link
Okay. And
is
where
in,
in
is
where?
in it's on the west side of Missouri.
Okay. Okay. You sound better growing not underwater.
You know what? I haven't been there. Oh, what do you say? I'm not underwater because
Yeah,
of
he was referring to the show
yeah.
last night.
Well, I was saying that the whole thing in a nutshell amounted to I had so many fans in here that they put in here and dehumidifiers. I sounded like I was in an airplane hangar
You did.
with like a double engine bomber with its engines going.
The acoustics were not flattering last night.
Oh
I
God,
definitely
it
heard
was.
all that. Annette, hello, hello. What's the
Hello, Annette.
topic? We'll get into that. This is actually the show's called obviously the Para-Prob podcast. So we're gonna be talking about some issues that we see in the field or what's going on, stuff like that. Crossover Paranormal. What is up, my brother? That is Jonathan Myers. If you guys haven't seen him, go check
Okay.
him out. He's got a really great show as well. And there's Dark Shadows. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back. Welcome back. And thank you. Glad to be here. Glad to have you, Joshua, and all you guys. Really
How's
happy
your
to have all
back?
you guys.
How's Joshua's having back issues? I
Ooh.
hope he's getting better. And there's Barbara Woodbury Spears at the
Hey,
bottom
Barbara.
there.
Welcome, welcome. Love that profile picture. It's a great picture.
That's what she looks like when she has her wings on.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So before we get into our discussion, I guess, because there's really we haven't decided the topic quite yet. For those of you wondering, my eye is a little like lower than usual. I mean, where I'm looking, you guys might see me looking a little bit lower. That's because I have a new camera, and it is up here, and it's a 4K. It's a 4K camera. I'm testing it out. I just picked it up. We're using it for investigations and everything else. So I'm just giving it a shot. I think the quality looks a little bit better. You can see my ugly face a little bit better. So, I don't know. What's up, Debbie? How are you? How are you? Welcome, welcome back. So, brother, as we said backstage, because as you know too, we talk backstage before the show starts. We chat, we bullshit, we do whatever. But before we get in, guys, this is an NC-17 show, just as a reminder. So if you do not like any type of adult language situations, you might want to go find somewhere else because, especially after this week, I don't care. Fuck it. We're gonna have some fun tonight. So, Greg, on the show, as you know, we talk about issues in the field, any problems you see. Whatever, any type of negativity in the field. And I usually like to ask my co-host, because obviously you're not a guest tonight, you are my co-host. What is, in your opinion, what is the one thing that you see that needs to change in our field to make it more positive and more uplifting? We'll just say it that way.
I would say probably 100% respectability for what we're doing, not only for what we're doing in general, but also for the spirits and the location that we're going into.
Okay.
There, because you can see, if everybody went in with the same positive wave,
mm-hmm.
And treated the spirits, I think they wouldn't be up in the corners as much as they are.
Okay.
Because there are certain people that come in and you remember back in the day with the Kling brothers.
Yep.
And I just happened to be with them 2 weekends ago. Great guys, and they had a whole explanation of why they did that. And I couldn't tell you right now what it was,
Mm,
because once I heard them trying to explain something I sort of was very close minded about, to me it was different. But you know what? They're coming back, and they're coming back strong, and they're great guys, and they
mm.
come across, they're really smart in the field. They love to do a lot of experimentation. They don't like to do every investigation the same way. If they get a little idea of wanting to go off in a little different direction, they're not afraid to do that.
Mm.
A lot of groups are, they're straight down the road. They don't vary left to right. And that's why I brought up the part about what I do with the ITC end of it, because there are groups that don't really like to take two people and let them take that amount of time when they should be helping with the investigation.
So let me ask you this, and I've noticed this. I don't want to say recently because there's no one particular group that sticks out in my mind right away, but I have seen this. There during investigations, like especially when you're doing live investigations, like if you're doing a live stream like this, um, one of the things I've noticed is the investigators, they like to ask the same generic, plain, boring ass questions all the time. Um, and and I don't know if they forget or they don't realize it. I've even seen like podcast hosts do this, where they'll just sit there and literally walk around with their recorders. What's your name? Who are you? Why are you here? Can you give me a sign? It's like if I was a ghost, I'd be sitting there just bitch slapping them left and right. I mean, what like what do you think is the cause of this? Like, is this just because we've been, like, I don't want to say sanitized, but demonetized, or like
Yeah.
what is the reasoning behind all this?
Yeah, well, it's definitely turned them off. That's for sure. As far as their thinking, everybody's group is different. I
Yeah,
have seen quite a bit of positive approaches, probably in the last since Christmas, of a
I'll agree with
couple
that.
teams, and I like the approach where you go into a room and let them come to you, join the conversation.
Hmm.
That kind of approach where it makes so much more sense than chasing them down a hallway.
Well, I know there's some people that might. I mean, if you're watching my show, if you're not here for the first time, you've heard this before. The Global Ghost Hunt is coming up. Brian John Laverty and myself and many others in P3 and who aren't are putting together this really amazing event for this year, and there's going to be live investigations. The one thing that I have noticed and that I like to do, I'll just put it this way. I like to do this. I don't like to ask the same generic questions. I like to ask the spirits, what's their favorite food? What do they miss the most about being alive? What's their favorite thing to do as a spirit? What's on, I ask them some of these random things. But I feel like if you're going to be live doing these investigations, like Raymond Newsom and Brian Clary, they just did an investigation this past week, and it was a great investigation, really great. We did it live; it was amazing. But I feel like if you're going to be on camera, and Greg, as as well as I, when you go in an investigation, you either get a shitload or you get nothing. It's excuse the
Right.
pun dead. I feel like if you're getting no responses and you're live, like doing this, you need to be entertaining. You have to be entertaining, not just for the spirits, but for your audience. So my question then is what are some ideas then for you? Like if you're going out and you're going to investigate and you're going to be live, what are you doing? What are some questions that you are asking the spirits that are different, are the usual, regular bullshit.
What did you like to do when you went out on a date?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Go parking.
Well, and that would come right in along with that down the road, the parking part. But that
That's after dinner.
what if you were going out on a date? What was the favorite meal?
Yeah.
Because usually you had the same thing to eat, that kind of thing for dinner. But that kind of thing, I always like to go through. If I went ahead and went in my wallet, or I'd go ahead and I'd say something to them. When you were alive, did you have a charge card?
Yeah. That might be
Anything,
one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
anything. What's your favorite candy? Do you like Hershey Kisses?
I've actually left some snacks from some spirits, especially the kids. I will bring candy along. And what do you mean, Josh? What do you mean by that one? But I like to actually take lifesavers or some of the older candies that they might be able to recognize.
I just lost you.
No, you didn't. No, you
There.
didn't.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't. My microphone's being a dick. But new microphone, but it wants to take
Did
little
it
breaks
again.
every now and then. Will you stop it? You're fine. Anyway, it works all day long, and then when I'm live, that's when it starts to act up. Anyway, but like I'll take candies that they can relate to, sports teams. I'll ask, who's the president? What do you think of the president? Because we all have our opinions. Even back in the day, you had your opinions about them. But yeah, just random bullshit. Just random bullshit.
Card games.
Yeah. Well, actually, who was it? Jill from the Boyd House. She owns the Boyd House in Boyd, Minnesota. They said they play poker and they play Uno with the spirits. They'll play cards with them. There's nothing against that. And oh man, okay. So Annette, he's asking. So you were asked about this comment. You won't watch a live investigation. And that's fine. That's fine. And that's your cup of tea, by all means. By all means. Me personally, I like the investigations that are fun. I mean,
Right.
obviously there's a limit. There's a limit. Like we all know there's a switch that you have to have. But to walk around like a robot, that's to me is redundant. To me that is redundant. And especially when you go to places like we're going to Pennhurst next month.
Oh wow.
The spirits have heard it all. They've heard it
Yeah.
all. They've seen it all. And I've actually spoken to Thomas Whaley on the Whaley House in San Diego. And one thing he doesn't like, and I feel like this is a blanket statement for all the spirits, they don't like being poked and prodded like animals at the zoo. I mean,
Right.
you think about it this way, like you go to a zoo. How many people have these animals seen? They can't go out. They can't survive in the wild. They can't. They can't. But when they don't take the investigation seriously or make fun of what happened, yeah, that I agree with. That goes back to what Greg stated earlier about having respect. Me personally, I will go and I will have, I will have respect, but I'm going to make sure that the spirits will remember me because, I ask them those random questions, like what's your favorite food? What do you think of the president? Who's your favorite sports team? Do ghosts fart? What do you miss? I've even asked the spirit what's it like to die. Actually, oddly enough, that was Thomas Whaley. He said cold. Whatever that means, but okay, so it's cold. It's cold when you die. But no, I agree with you. Hey, Lisa, welcome. Team Darling KO. I love that. That's a cool name.
Hand pink waving.
Oh, it's just a waving hand. I see it on YouTube. Just a pink hand that's waving. That's it. But no, I mean I agree. I agree with you in that. I agree. there are teams out there that will go in and just ruin an investigation, who make fun of things, who don't take the spirit seriously. Zach.
I think it's great when you get into smaller groups on a big time event
Mm-hmm.
and get the opportunity to learn and grow together as far as those same kind of ideas and where you take it and where some people can't be given the opportunity at those events to continue to do that when they're doing something like what I was saying. I'll start Estes sessions
Mm-hmm.
just for people who have never done it before.
Yeah. And
And
I like. Oh, actually, where is it? Hold on. You brought up the Estes method. There's something else that I like to do. Oh, here they are. I just got these as well. I just got brand new digital recorders,
yes,
and a lot of these these they have the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Oh wait, wrong camera. Right
okay,
there.
you're right.
These are actually capable of live listen. In other words, when you plug it in, you hit record, you can hear the recording live. So basically, it's like an electronic ear. I love that because you get almost real time responses, and you can hear. If those of you who hunt, you've heard of a game ear, just basically a hearing aid. It's a parabolic microphone inside a hearing aid. Basically, they work just as well. They work very well. But I love that. I absolutely love that.
Where did you get those recorders at?
Amazon. Amazon. I love me Amazon. I don't know. They're great. It's a great resource, and they have a lot of great equipment. But yeah, you definitely got to go check those out. But
You have to have a system set up, where you have the recorder and you have the spirit box.
mhm. Oh, I don't mind the Estes method. I actually love it.
No, I'm saying for when you're talking about using a microphone like or a tape recorder like the one you just showed.
Oh, you can't. Oh, I can't do the live listens when there's a spirit box going on. If there's an SB7 and you get that white noise is 10 times more annoying because it's just right in your ear. It is almost deafening. It's that loud. But
There's people that only want to hear the white noise.
well, good for them. They can listen to it all night long. I don't want to listen to it. I already have fucking hearing
It's
problems.
like
I don't need
I
more.
don't want to hear. I don't want to listen to anything else. I just want to hear the white noise. And the guy's like, hey,
I mean, white noise is fine. It's absolutely fine, but
this looks like Marty Feldman with the one eye goes off to the side. After
we
he
were talking
licked
about
those,
drooling earlier with the
yeah,
Estes method.
well, it's the same thing.
I
You
do that on
never
my
know what
own.
you're going to end up with. That's the amazing part about it.
But no, and you have to think outside of the box, and it's not just with the questions. It's with the equipment too. Like I have a trail cam that I just got. I got a trail cam that we're going to be setting up for Pennhurst. I have a freaking drone. I've
Oh wow!
got I've got a couple of new pieces of equipment. And actually, where the hell did I put it? Oh, here. I just got these for my wife. Like these are, and again, some people like them, some people don't. But I just got her new dowsing rods. These
Oh wow!
these are actually dowsing rods. Yeah, wrong camera. I'm so used to this camera, not this one. But they're actual dowsing rods. They're just
Telescopic.
yep, and then they just bend. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're copper plated.
How many times can you bend them before they break?
We'll find out. But yeah, they're just pen sized. So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
it's stupid little things like this that can I think I spent in total about less than $200 for everything. You gotta love tax season, but but less than $200. I got pretty much my set ready to go. The only thing we don't have is a spirit box. We had one. We got it from someone online. I know it was someone who makes paranormal equipment. I'm not gonna trash him, but it broke. Used it once, it broke. And all I did was push a button. And the button went through the plate. And he disappeared. So can't find him. But it's just simplicity. You don't have to go out and spend thousands of dollars, to get this stuff. But
You know, I come from a background of muskie fishing professionally, so and I did it from 2000 to like 2016.
mm,
And I still do it every year up in Canada, and I still chase big fish. I always needed the best,
well, of course.
and the same applies for me as far as what I do in the paranormal field.
And that's perfectly fine. Some again, the field. This is what I love about our field. The field can be for, the high end stuff
Right.
or the penny savers, penny pinchers. Like I'll go out there with my phone.
Oh
That's all
yeah.
I need. I'll go out with my Maglite and my phone. I'm set. I don't need a shitload of stuff, and I'll still investigate, and I'll still have a great time, and I'll still get evidence. I don't need
Nice.
lasers. I don't need all this stuff. I don't need, I personally just don't need it. I don't need it because it doesn't work for me. But what doesn't work for me doesn't mean it won't work for somebody else. But it's a matter of opinion and everything. It's great. Hey, stop it! I got all my fly fishing stuff right here, ready to go. I'm waiting for April 1st.
What are you
That's
going to
when
go trout? You
you're
trout fish or what?
damn right. I, here's how ready I am.
See, that's
There's my
what we.
flies. There's my flies right
That's
there.
those are what my fish eat.
Yeah. See, my fly rod is literally right next to me on on the floor over here. It's ready to go. It's in its case. I'm set. I got
As
my
long as
leader.
as long as you showed White River too, I'll let you know that I worked and retired also besides the post office
Hmm.
from Bass Pro Shop in
Oh.
Gurnee, Illinois, and I worked there from '98 to 16
Mm. See,
in the fishing department, and I was the muskie guy.
see, I couldn't work at like we went to Cabela's, and I know this isn't paranormal, guys. Deal with it. It's our fucking show. We want to talk fishing. We're gonna talk fishing. But
Just for a minute. Just for a minute.
yeah, yeah, we're allowed to take tangents. Fuck it. But my wife made the mistake of allowing me to go to Cabela's, and she even made it more of a mistake to letting me have my wallet. And she said, and I'll never forget this. I love her to death. She said, and I quote, and by all means, if you guys know the Wicked Queen, give her shit for it, but have at it. But she said, "Do you want to grab a cart in case we find anything?" I looked her dead in the face, and I call her Umbreon. That's her little pet name. I said, Umbry, the question isn't if we find something. It's a question of
How
when I
much
find something.
or how much of that do we find?
I was skipping the entire way in. And I said, let's go broke. And she goes, no. And I went, yup.
But the same thing goes on at a Paracon.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Any
same
convention.
identical thing goes on there.
Yeah.
People go into Paracons. I've been to so many ones in Chicago, and around Indiana, places like that, and it's the same. It's the same. It's it's just that. It's money. It's
Yeah. Yeah. So I couldn't work at Cabela's or Bass Pro because I wouldn't have a paycheck. I'd come home with fishing equipment or hunting equipment. Uh Victor Santiago from the Don Vic Show. What is up, my brother?
oh boy. It's Victor.
Paranormal
Paranormal
fish.
fish. Okay, Anthony.
No, Barb has the right one. Barb has the right question. How many carts? That's it right there.
Barbara's the one that take you to Bass Pro Shop. Right there.
Barb, let's go. Let's go. Let's see. What happened? Are you going to the Ghost Hunts USA to Pennhurst? I think for those who follow Paralinks, Chrissy Baggett or Morales now, congratulations, the Listen Queen.
Right.
She invited the Wicked Queen. There's too many queens. We have the Paranormal Queen, Patty Adams. We've got the Listen Queen, Chrissy, and now my wife is the Wicked Queen, according to Howard. But yeah, Chrissy actually invited Mackenzie and myself to go. So if that's the one that's going on to the end of March, then yes, that's when we're going. It's like the 27th or something like that. I don't know. And Jen is wondering, where do you go in Indiana?
As far as investigation sites are concerned,
I'm assuming
the Hannah house has a great little, like a mini Paracon that they hold in July, and it's a great event. It's a 1-day event, and a lot of the groups from down there. What I love to do about it is the fact that I used to go with my old group, and that was Ghost Research Society with Dale Kasmerick, and we used to go there every year and set up a booth. And Jason Snyder from Fort Wayne is the one that runs that and that Paracon. Okay. And it's at the Hannah House, and it's an unbelievable location, and it's got a lot of energy in it. It's the only place I've ever seen where on the outside this place is so old. You know what a morning glory plant is?
Yeah, morning glories. Yeah, I know what they are.
You know, the little vines that grow. Yeah, have those flowers.
Mm-hmm.
This plant is so old down there. It has roots that are like 6 inches across. And the main trunk of the plant goes up like a tree.
Damn.
That's how old it is. And
holy shit.
It was amazing. And the spirits are very accommodating the same way. And they're settled there.
That's awesome.
It was another one of those spots that was a stop on the Underground Railroad.
Okay.
And if you ever heard any of the stories about, and we do quite a few locations. I'm trying to think of the one that's closed down now, that's about maybe 45 or 50 miles away from Indianapolis. It wasn't Whispers. It was Thornhaven Manor.
Now, what does that sound familiar?
It's closed now.
Okay.
But back in the day, we did an investigation there after we had done Hannah House for the Paracon, because we're up from Illinois. So, that way you kill two birds with one stone, or you make a third location or a third investigation on the way home closer than that. So you sort of, jump, stay overnight somewhere. And all our trips down south, we did the same way. Like Thorn, we would do Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. Then we would go to Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary. And Brushy Mountain will raise the hairs on the back of your neck if nothing else does.
Well, I know our brothers and sisters over there at Minnesota Spirit Hunters. They're planning to go there, and I know they invited myself and Mackenzie along, but I don't know about dates. I don't know if they're still doing that. I haven't talked to Marcus, so we'll see.
What town are they out
of? Shit. Marcus is out of. He's gonna shoot me. I can't fucking remember.
Do they know? do they know Northern Shadows,
They might.
which is a group that's like
Mora.
north of the Twin Cities.
Mora, Minnesota. That's it. From Mora, Minnesota. I have no idea.
That narrows that down right away. I have no idea where Mora is. Nora or Mora?
Mora, Mora.
Is it by the Twin Cities?
Your guess is as good as mine. I know it's not too far from Boyd, Minnesota.
Okay,
we did 2 hours.
We did an event with Greg Bakken, and that was at the Anderson House, which is on the backwaters of the Mississippi.
Okay. In
Minnesota, and that was an amazing place too. Some
dumbass a few years ago opened a jar that had been sealed for years in the cellar. They shut it down for a while because of that Stevis. I don't know.
How is why it's. Are you talking about down at
that location you were just talking about in Indiana?
Thornhaven Manor.
Yeah, Thornhaven.
Thornhaven was the one that had a room where
she had some butt cuddling.
You're one of the last teams to investigate. I was there the last time that Hannah House. I want to say that Hannah House had the event before Jason Snyder took it over. So that was probably about 5 years ago, maybe. And when we went there, they had a whole shelf of jars, like pickled beets and stuff like this. That was all from way back then. But that same room, they had a room there that the spirits are there because what happened was, it being part of the Underground Railroad, they used to have the slaves stay in this room, and they used to lock the room up, and it had straw on the floor. And one night, one of the slaves went ahead and kicked over one of their lanterns, and they all burned up and died.
Pulled on Mrs. O'Leary's cow, huh?
Yeah.
Shit.
So, and that's part of it too.
Well, we're gonna hit this this next comment, and then we're gonna take a quick commercial break, guys. And actually, Josh, we're gonna answer your question real quick. But which more teams came down to Florida? Lots of fantastic places to investigate. Well, actually, Josh, I have 2 P3 family members who are in Florida. Both very well known, both very well respected, and if they're not, they fucking better be, because they are great people. But they are in Florida. And stick around, guys. We'll be right back. We are going to take that break, and we're going to play the P3 commercial highlighting all our P3 family members. And Josh, pay close attention, because there's a Florida section in this video. So, guys, we'll be right back.
Make some
Welcome back, everybody. So, Josh, I hope you saw the Florida crew. If you didn't, we got two amazing P3 family members down in Florida, and that is none other than the paranormal queen herself, Miss Patty Adams and the G Team Paranormal, and also my brother, Mr. Ken Allen from the Wizards Table. Both amazing, amazing individuals, and I love them both to death. But before we continue on, I want to give a special shout out to a couple of people. And first and foremost, I want to say thank you to Brian John Laverty over there at ParaPost and ParaPost Network Central. If you guys haven't seen ParaPost or haven't heard of ParaPost, welcome to the show because I say it all the time. I love it. If you want a paranormal Facebook without the drama, without any of the issues, a great networking tool, go check out ParaPost. Go to parapost.net. You can download on your Android or iPhone. Doesn't matter. It's completely free to set up. It's free to sign up, free to get going. You can start networking, finding new equipment, new locations, new teams in your area. Great, great app and a great website. So it's parapost.net or again, Android or iPhone, doesn't matter. I also want to thank everybody over there at Paralinks, my family over there, Stephen Woodard, Howard Petrie, Chrissy, so many, Courtney, everybody, they're all family over there. I love them. I love them for allowing us. We are on Paralinks 1, Pun 1 tonight. Links are in the description. So go check them out as well. So is ParaPost. And also, I mentioned the Global Ghost Hunt. Global Ghost Hunt, guys, a 10-day event twice this year, one in May, one in October. Go check it out, guys. If you want a huge, literally community changing event, the Global Ghost Hunt is it. It's a celebration of locations and teams, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and I'm honored to be a part of it. And I want to give a shout out to speaking of the Paralinks family, New Orleans Beer Fest. I heard from Howard yesterday. It is going to be the weekend of the 26th and 27th in October down in New Orleans. I sadly will be down there the week prior, so I sadly miss it, but we'll be down there for hopefully our honeymoon. But it's going to be a great time. Go check it out. You want a convention like, Greg, you were talking about a convention earlier. This is going to be a paranormal Mardi Gras. I fucking love it. I'm excited for it. And it's going to be a blast. It is going to be an absolute blast. And as always, I want to thank Maglite for sponsoring the Para-Prob podcast and the Paracrew podcast. We investigate at night, guys. What can I say? We need flashlights. We need to shed some light, literally, on the locations. Get yourself a Maglite. Why wouldn't you? It's American made, great products, great quality. I've used them since the military. I swear by them. Go to maglite.com and join the Maglite Nation, guys. Definitely go check that out. They've got some really great merch too, which I will be picking up. So, anyway, that's my shout outs.
They kept on going ahead and posting things about Anderson House and things about up in Minnesota, and
yeah,
you guys have a great bunch of groups up there. Did I mentioned the name of that one group, right? Northern Shadows or whatever it was.
Yep.
That's the group that's with Mr. Bakken.
Okay.
And you guys know Greg Bakken from Minnesota Ghost Box.
Yep.
And he's another one. He's part of that rotation that we have with that other show with Metaphysical. But I never mentioned Shadow Hour. And Shadow Hours on Friday nights. And now you had mentioned to me a while ago about something about my shows. And, and I just mentioning that part right now, and I'm going to leave it as a teaser for everybody because it has to be something that at the end tonight we have to talk about a little bit. But the Shadow Hour, I put that together, with Nick Sarlo from the Shadowhunters team.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick couldn't do it anymore, and I picked it up like four years ago, and I started running with it. And the whole way I looked at it was, I wanted to bring to the people, whether they were investigators or they were just plain ordinary people, people that I found interesting that I had run into in the paranormal, that I had worked with in the paranormal,
Mhm.
and all the way down the line. And that's what that show was made up of. And one of the disappointments I had was last week was I was going to have Christopher St. Booth on,
Mm.
of the Booth brothers. So you got Philip and Christopher, the great horror makers, great movies that they create. And Christopher was sick. And it was the second time in probably 3 years that poor Chris got sick again.
Mm.
And it was like, I was like devastated because I look at these people, some of these people, as very close to me. It's like family. And when family doesn't show up, it's a hard thing to handle. Like, if you watch Howard shows sometime, I get the same feeling about Howard shows. And, him and Christy, Eileen, everybody down the road, they're great people.
Yeah.
And that's what I was bringing, and I want to continue to bring. Like this Friday, the Horns are going to be on from Horn Paranormal from out in the Dakotas,
Hmm.
and he's a magnificent guy, and all these people are interconnected with me, with uh, Bigfoot and the Bunny, Dark Horse Paranormal, and that's another part of that family business.
Yeah.
And they're it's it's all family to me.
And that
And
I know exactly how you feel, brother, because like honestly, ever since I met actually Howard was the first one I met. But ever since I met Howard, Paralinks and ParaPost, they're all family to me. So I've got two amazing platforms with great family members. And you add the P3 into the mix too, the P3 family that my wife and I started, the Paranormal Partnership Program, the video we just watched. Um, Everybody in there I love is my brothers and sisters. I consider all of them family. And I've said this before. We we celebrate together, we pray together, we help each other, we support each other, and we protect each other from the drama and the bullshit. Because there is a lot of it. There is a lot of it in this field. Let's be honest. Let's be realistic here. It's almost as bad as politics. It's saying, "Oh, this is my spot. Your way is wrong. My way is right." Blah blah blah. Fuck off. No, it's not. We have Paralinks, Parapost, P3. We all together have created one hell of a community, and the audience is right along with it. Everybody in the audience is spectacular, and you know, hey Nikki,
Nikki
and
Cameron, I have yet to meet Nikki.
oh, she's a trip. I love Nikki. She is a fucking trip. I love her. She is our butter chicken. But
Butter
butter chicken.
chicken.
It's a long story. Just don't let her near your microwave. That's all I have to say. That's a story on its own. But everybody is just so amazing. And the P3 has grown so much in just a couple of months. And we've got family members joining seems like weekly. There's more shows being added to ParaPost, more shows being added to Paralinks. It's just so much fun. But my final question for you, brother, is let's say this time next year, a full 12 months, you and I are coming back the eve before March 1st. What are you hoping to see different in this field? What
Wow.
would you like to see that has changed? And then continue on with maybe how can we
I would like to see more of a combined effort put forth between the younger generation and the older generation as far as actually exchanging ideas and views, and not being sort of like segregated in that respect.
so where would be the starting point if you could reach out to everybody in the field right now and you would have one thing to say to them to start that process, what would
I don't think it's really as segregated as me using the word, okay? Because I do feel that they do understand, but a lot of times they'll look and say, okay, this guy's an old fart, you know, you know what I mean? And I'm the young guy. I'm the next CB, okay, or whatever.
yeah.
And he's in my way. And I'll say, well, I'm looking at this a little differently than he is. And that's what we need, just like what Josh just said about, their Reggie Randall's here.
What's up, Reggie? Better
Where were you, Reggie?
late than never, brother.
Are you going to be ready for Thursday night? I certainly
Fucking
hope
better
you are. Because we're gonna be on fire that night. Our hair is gonna be on fire, and we're gonna be running like two crazy chickens. But that's where it is. Joshua Dixon said, "Understanding and support are not are not divided by age."
I agree. I don't mean to cut you off, brother. I really don't.
No, that's okay.
But I agree, and honestly, I think that is happening. I think it's slowly happening, and I mean, like I said, look at Paralinks and ParaPost starting to work together, combine. Shows from ParaPost are going over to Paralinks. Paralink shows are coming over to ParaPost. We're supporting each other. We're helping each other. The P3, literally the P3 program is worldwide. I've got family. I can proudly say I have family members in the UK, in the US, all over. The invitation's open for anybody. And, we are networking with some really amazing people, minus this guy. This guy's a complete asshole. What's up, Raymond? How you doing, brother?
Sorry about that, Raymond.
I'm not. He's an asshole. No. But that's what I mean. Like, I've said this before, that these people, you people, all of you, Greg, yourself included, I think of you closer to me than the people that are nearby. That people I deal with on a daily basis, I'm closer to you guys. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I mean that 100%. And there's a reason for that. Is because our field is changing. Our field is changing for the better. The bullshitters are being called out for their bullshit. People are standing up for themselves. And teams who are out for the right reason are starting to network. When we join forces, when we come together like we're doing, things are going to be changing in a big way. And people are really going to start taking notice. And I think they are.
I would love this. Go ahead. Keep on.
No. I was just going to say, I just feel like there needs to be someone there to give everyone a swift kick in the ass every now and then. Or if you watch NCIS, a little Gibbs slap in the back of the head. You know what I mean?
Well, you're looking at things, and one of the important parts, as far as I'm concerned, is your credibility as an investigator. And you can't continue to think in this field that you're going to be able to possibly go ahead and not be credible in a certain way, and think that people will continue to go ahead and want to be around you.
Well, I've said this before, brother, and I just want to take a second. We saw Victor Santiago from the Don Vic Show. There is his co-host, the one and only Insta IG. I still remember. No, that's IG from the Don Vic Show. That's his awesome co-host. I love IG, right there, brother. Okay, but here's the thing. Credibility, I agree with, but here's the thing. There are some people out there who do this for entertainment. Let's be honest. There are ghost hunters, not investigators. There are ghost hunters out there who just want to go out for sport, like fishing. There's people that go out for just hanging out as a hobby. Okay, I think that's fair. I think like me personally, I don't do competitions. I don't do tournaments. I just go out because I love the outdoors. I love being in the middle of a creek, being left the fuck alone, no cell service. That's me. Those are the ghost hunters. They don't take it serious. They go out, they want a great video, they want great content. They take these cameras and they either fake evidence or they over exaggerate. If you're going to do that, to me, it's fine, with the exception that you put for entertainment purposes only. You put that up, put that banner up, let people and your audience know that it's entertainment. And then people like us who are the actual investigators, we put out solid evidence. But again, you've got to be, like you said, Greg, credible, and you have to be at least somewhat professional. You have to be able to still maintain your audience. You have to be balanced between that goopy, fun, entertaining side and the serious paranormal investigator. So I agree. I agree with that credibility thing. You need to build it. And the only way to do that is to network.
Well, not only that, but that also carries in the respect that if someone is around you that isn't credible, that he can drag you down the tubes too with him.
Well, if I go out and someone's faking evidence, I'll call them out right there on the video. I'll be like, "This guy bullshit." But you know, it is what it is. Hello, that's a good one.
Whoa,
Boop.
what's that?
I don't know.
That
They're being blocked.
it's not a
Delete.
it was
It's a
that was a
scam.
troll
Yeah, it's a scam. It's gone. I
troll.
deleted it. But there it is. But the fact of the matter is, again, it's all about who, like you said, who you network with. That's finding out these individuals. Like prime example, we were just picking on Raymond. I've seen Raymond investigate. I've seen his evidence. I've seen what he can do. I've seen it live. I will be more than happy to investigate with him anyway. Brian Laverty, same way. Yourself, Howard Petrie, Stephen Woodard, Chris Carr, Scotty Wilson, any of them, anybody here, I'd be more than happy to investigate with. But they have to be on the understanding that I am a paranormal investigator. I am not a ghost hunter. I'm not. I'm not out. I mean, I'll have a great time. Hey, Ann. But I am more than happy to go out and have a great time. You'll always have a great. I'll always have a great time. What you see on here is how I am in real life. I'm no different off camera than I am on camera. I still go out, we'll still have fun. We'll have a great time. We'll catch some great evidence, and if we don't, we still have a great time. I don't need to fake anything to have a great time. Because then you're just to me that's too much work. I'm lazy fuck. I'd rather just be me.
I when I saw that down there, I had to go in and chuckle because Anne Marie Young is part of the family too, with Chris and Kristen
Mm-hmm.
from Dark Horse and Bigfoot and the Bunny. And
They're great
she's
people. I
part
love
of
those
the
people.
team that has another show that just took off. And I promised that by Friday night, Anne Marie, I'll have all those shows listed so that when I get to it, I won't go ahead and screw it up. And that's synchronicity, adding pieces to the puzzle, and that's Anne Marie Young and Liz Monet.
Anne Marie's awesome. I love Anne. Derek, I think we still are, but the person you and go as along with anybody else, if you're interested in joining the P3 family, by all means, reach out. But there's one individual who actually has been dealing with recruiting for the P3 program, and that's the pain in the ass right there, Mr. Raymond Newsom, my brother. He's in charge of talking to people about joining P3 family. So just reach
Brother
out to
from
him at
another
Newsom.
mother.
That's basically it. He was the one that. Never mind. He lagged. He lagged, and mom forgot him. But
Kiss my ass.
yeah, I love this guy. But all you got to do is email
Reggie, cover
Newsom.
your ears. They're using profanity.
Well, fuck. But you've been
Reggie
warned.
says, I'm not a hunter or an investigator, I'm a communicator.
I saw
There you go.
that. I saw that. But that's a good one too. I like that, Reggie. But no, Raymond, all you got to do if you're interested in joining the P3 family, message Raymond Newsom right there, or email Raymond at his team email at newsomparanormal@gmail.com, and he will get you all set up. He'll get you all set up. So, but yeah, and that's all we can do. That's all we do. That's all we can do. So,
I
all right.
agree.
Well, I think that's gonna do it for tonight, brother. As quickly as that was, it's an hour and 15 minutes already. Holy shit! It went by so quick, didn't it?
Went too fast. What
All
am I going
right.
to do
Well,
now?
I don't know. I have a wicked consultant on her way home, so I know what I'm going to
Yeah.
be doing.
You know, by the
Right.
way, mention to her that I did watch you guys last night for about 15 minutes.
I am so sorry.
And I was trying to get some other things done at the same time, but
Hmm.
you have an amazing lady. And
She
I
is,
just picked
and
that up from watching,
I appreciate that.
and it's great. You know, you're a very lucky man.
I
I'm
really
just
am,
saying.
and I know I pick on her and everything, but I can honestly say that I not only found like a soulmate, but I found my best friend. Like I pick on her relentlessly. She picks on me. She supports me in everything I do. No matter what, she always is there to literally kick me in the ass and tell me, "Shut the fuck up. You're fine." And I love her. I love her to death. And
Just don't let any poison or any crushed glass or bamboo shovels shards around in the house if you get on the bad side.
oh, she's
Because she,
she's got a couple of swords down here in the studio. She's got a couple of
is
swords,
she
and
coming,
actually,
she's coming down now.
she got throwing. These are my throwing knives. They're my
Oh,
throwing
so
knives. She actually got them for me.
oh really? Are you
Yeah,
any good at
yeah.
that? I can
Don't really
never
have
do
anywhere to
that.
try them out. Don't have anywhere to really test them or try them out.
On a
But
tree. Get a tree.
yeah, not around here. Not around here. but
Put
but
an
anyway,
ad in
before
the
we go,
paper and
brother,
say
why
I
don't you
want.
go? He
Go
wants
ahead.
to play catch. But before we get going, why don't you give a shout out to your shows one more time and when they are?
Okay, Metaphysical Crossing Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Central, on the Shadowhunters Paranormal Investigations and Events page. Thursday night is Perfectly Normal Paranormal Investigate Communications, and that's on Dark Horse Paranormal, or is it uh, what's the other? That's why I get this screwed up. What's the other network? Your network.
Paralinks or
It's on three. It's on three.
There's Parapost.
It's Paralinks, or Paralanks. The one up there in the corner.
There's Para United Network.
I can't remember all these. Okay, I'm limited
I've
in
got
my
let's see. Up there in the corner.
Bigfoot and the Bunny. The one up in the corner,
Yeah,
right above where it says Norm on the Fright
this one.
Fest. Yes, yes,
This one. That's Paralinks.
that
That's
one.
Paralinks.
Okay, that's
Yep.
Paralinks. Okay, so
Yep. Paralinks.
that's Thursday
Parapost.
night, and you know, Dark Horse Paranormal, Chris and Kristen. Chris was so nice in letting us go ahead and work through him and get it on your platform, and that made it possible to happen. And then on Fridays it's the Shadow Hour, and that's the show that I mentioned about before, and that's the same thing, 8 o'clock Central, and that's on the Shadowhunters Paranormal Investigations and Events page. And that one is literally something close to this, where I just interview my guests and
Yeah.
we talk about different things.
Well, that's the Para-Crew podcast. That's what we do. We just interview. This one, like I said, is more or less dealing with issues in the field, talking about different things, hanging out, bullshitting, and instead of a guest, co-host. So,
Oh, I hope I made some sense tonight. I don't know.
hey, made more than I did. So, thank you everybody so much for joining us tonight. Greg,
Everybody,
pleasure as always, my brother, for
thank you
hanging
very
out.
much, Matt. It's been
Anytime,
awesome.
brother.
I
Anytime.
appreciate it.
Not a problem. So, guys, come check us out tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the Para-Crew podcast. We have Lauren Moss on tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm really excited, and I know she is as well. And then you'll see us on Friday for the Para-Crew podcast. No idea who the hell we're having, but it's going to be a blast either way because it's a fun time. So thank you all again so much for watching. Much love to everybody. So I guess there's only one more thing left for me to say. Y'all have yourselves a great rest of your night. Have fun. Stay safe. And as always,
Bigfoot
guys.
And the bunny.
What?
Bigfoot and the bunny tomorrow night.
Okay.
They'll be on Metaphysical with me.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I'll definitely go check them out.
I
But as
forgot
always,
that part.
guys,
Brain
happy
fart.
hauntings.
Happy hauntings.